In the 8 or 9 months that I've been studying wrestling, most of my training has been on learning takedowns, and I've only just started learning the ground fighting. It's really difficult for me because you can't let your shoulder blades go on the ground and the way you would in MMA. A lot of times I'll fight, like right now you'll see me fighting with one shoulder blade on the ground, which technically is legal, but it's so difficult because I just want to roll over my back and use my legs, and I can't. So very often these guys just maul the living crap out of me. Occasionally I'm able to use some MMA technique that they hadn't thought of, like locking their legs with my legs and rolling them that way or something like that, but very often I just get mauled. As I understand the rules of wrestling, apparently when you're on the ground like this, it doesn't last very long. If you can avoid getting rolled over and pinned for a matter of seconds even, then the referee will probably restart you, or at least that's what I've been told. What's interesting though is these guys keep expecting me to tap out from this kind of pressure on my neck or oxygen deprivation, but it's just not going to happen because of the MMA background. Doesn't mean I can get out of it, but I can survive it. I do better on my feet than I do on the ground for right now. And right here you'll see me using an MMA technique. I actually use a Kimura. When these guys get behind me, I'll use a type of Kimura lock on their arm to prevent them from being able to lock their hands together. Because if these guys lock their hands together from behind, they're going to suplex you. In this case, I wound up going right onto my back. Now sometimes we do sort of relaxed rules wrestling, so they let me fight off my back, or I'll even go for submissions or use my legs. Not in the rules, but these are my friends. They let me do stuff. But you see, even here, I'm trying to keep one shoulder blade off the ground. My wrestling partner here, He Lao Shi, we every day usually wrestle like 30 to 40 minutes before I join my team and do jacket wrestling. So you can imagine how tired we are. And this is my best friend on the team. His name is Jung Tong. He's a former Greco Roman champion, but then he hurt his back and he was bedridden for 2 years, and he just started training again about a year ago.
好，谢谢，不用谢。
人我有口气没精气神儿，要不你得看时间啊，训练搞大家都没精神。精气。
This is our wrestling coach. He likes to talk a lot. All Chinese wrestling coaches like to talk a lot. In fact, we had to cut a lot of the scene because he went on like that for 20-25 minutes. Usually he's scolding us, telling us that we're terrible. Very often I take myself down to the ground and put my partner in a position to pin me. Unfortunately, I don't get any points for that. Occasionally, however, those gambles pay off. Because look, at the end of the day, if I don't try, they're going to take me down. I might as well try and make all my mistakes in practice rather than in the fight. The strongest guy on the team right here. Doesn't look like it, but strong. Okay, what I do right, I practice my Jibun Gong every single day, which makes my legs very strong, which means the guys have a lot of failed takedown attempts. What I do wrong, I very often just throw myself on the ground on my back and the guy gets the point and I don't. Here, He Lao Shi comes over and he's telling my teammate Wang Jiao how better to have thrown me. He's also giving me better advice about how to defend the takedown. And I'm fixing my contact lenses.
陈真国呀，你在干什么？
Occasionally I get these non-throws. In other words, in Chinese wrestling, I don't think they're worth any points, but for MMA, freestyle, whatever, it's just really good practice to take the guy down no matter what, wind up on top, wind up in the dominant position. And here would be another example of me taking myself down and getting no points. But you gotta try. And you'll also notice after I'm on the ground, I'm considering choking him out, but I didn't. Because I'm a good person. In some ways, this is my favorite part of the day. The guys always want me to teach them some MMA, practice a little striking and combine it with wrestling and then fighting off my back and doing jiu-jitsu. But I always forget that like normal people get hurt when they get hit, or they don't like being choked out, and they're not used to it. So you got to go easy. It's funny because these are big, strong guys and they're really good wrestlers, but obviously you're going from one sport to another sport, and not all your skills, not all your fearlessness, not all your tolerance for pain is going to translate. This is something I'm learning from the wrestlers. When they grab the leg, they control the leg and use it to pull you into a pin. And I'm experimenting around with that using it for MMA. Here though, you'll see that he's not used to protecting his neck, so I very easily get an arm triangle. And it's not even arm in, and I'm able to choke him out. But part of that is just because of the strength I built up from wrestling. I owe everything to wrestling. And once again, I forgot that normal people aren't used to getting choked out and that they find it unpleasant.
OK， 开始。OK， 开始。
The fundamental difference between wrestling and MMA is that in MMA, we want the opponent face down so we can choke him. In wrestling, if he's face down, you got to roll him onto his back so you can pin him. So we practice a lot of this type of ground fighting where one opponent starts laying flat on his belly and the other guy's got to roll him. It's exhausting. And I have to be careful here not to grab the neck. That's illegal in wrestling. The wrestlers don't seem to be able to deal with the full mount very well. In MMA, it's a basic position, but I guess in wrestling it's not. And I notice every time I take full mount, it really kind of messes them up. And that's my awesome wrestling team. Thanks for taking this journey with me and getting to meet all my friends. I really enjoy training with these guys, and I'm so lucky to have this opportunity. So, from Shanghai University of Sport traditional Chinese wrestling team, I'm the Brooklyn monk, Antonio Graceffo, saying, get in the gym, do your sets, do your reps, do your road work, and please say a prayer for the people of Cambodia.